Okay, so good day, everybody. We will be having our next topic for our subject multicultural diversity in the workplace. So, our topic for today is all about future trends in multicultural hospitality and tourism. Now, let's tackle first the learning objectives of this lesson. So these are the following. First is explain the major future trends shaping multicultural hospitality and tourism. Analyze how each trend affects multicultural workforce. Apply cross-cultural communication and technology tools in a service scenario. And last but not the least, create a culturally sensitive service idea for a diverse market. So these are the learning points that you should be able to acquire at the end of our discussion. So to move forward, I have a question with everyone. The question is, why multicultural trends matter now? Okay, why do we focus on diversity or inclusivity nowadays when it comes to our organization, when it comes to our businesses, or when it comes to the operations of the different companies in our industry or in another industries? Anybody? Okay, you can comment your answer in the comment section. So, bakit nga ba trending ngayon yung different multicultural strategies or aspects? Because when we hit by the pandemic 5 years ago, hindi tayo makalabas ng bahay, hindi tayo makapag-travel from one place to another. Okay? And according to statistics provided by the United Nations World Travel Organization in 2023, 89% ng travelers in Asia Pacific ay tumaas or nagkaroon ng surge. Ibig sabihin, after the pandemic, people are going out. People are traveling from one place to another. And this growth brings travelers from the Asia Pacific region, specifically from India, China, and the Middle East to Southeast Asia, including our country, Philippines. So, now, ano yung connection nun sa trending or trends ng multicultural setting nowadays? Since there are a lot of traveler from one place to another, so what will happen or what happened? So yung mga hospitality and tourism professionals ay naka-adapt from different cultural perspectives ng mga traveler. Since galing sila sa iba't ibang bansa, galing sila sa iba't ibang kultura, galing sila sa iba't ibang paniniwala, lifestyle. So, the hospitality professionals adapt those cultural differences. So, that's why yung multicultural trends ay nagmamatter. Kasi nga, as people travel from one place to another, so they engage with one another. And nalalaman natin doon na um, yung mga way of life nila and yung mga culture nila, their dietary needs, their communication styles that allow us to gain competitive edge kasi mas nalalaman natin yung mga preference nila. Okay? So for example, you as a student, okay? In the future, if you will work in a hotel, for example, in Makati, in Tagaytay, or abroad, so you are just no longer serving Filipinos, but you are engaging the world because there are a lot of nationalities traveling from one place to another. Okay, so now, ano yung bottom line? Bakit trending yung multicultural nowadays? So these are some. The first one is, as we mentioned, global travel is rebounding with shifting origin markets and new traveler demographics. So, ibig sabihin, dumadami yung mga nagta-travel from one place to another and they have different category, they have different profiles when it comes to their sex, when it comes to their citizenship, when it comes to their monthly income, educational attainment. So those people with different needs and preferences have different expectations. Okay? That aligns to multicultural diversity. Okay? Next, workforce diversity drives innovation, adaptability, and stronger guest relations. So imagine that you are working with different people from different nationalities. Okay? So it will allow you to innovate or create ideas that will fit to their needs and expectation. magiging adaptable din kayo kasi you have to adjust doon sa mga nire-request nila, either a product or a services, and you will build relationship or stronger relations with them because you have to mimic, or you have to adjust on their greetings, on their language, on their culture, so on and so forth. And last but not the least is modern guests expect authentic, inclusive, and culturally sensitive experience. Ngayon, hindi na lang nila ine-expect na when they ordered um something or juice, or for example pasta, so you will just only give them juice or pasta. They want something exceptional. Okay? So you are asking them how was your food, how was your stay, inclusive. Ibig sabihin, everybody have an equal opportunity, okay, to try or to be part of the operation, or merong mga needs na align for each and everybody's preferences. Okay? And culturally sensitive experiences. So we know that they have different backgrounds. If they are Muslims, they prefer halal food. Okay? If they are Koreans, they are looking for Korean food. If they are Japanese, they are looking for uh, people with uh, high respect with when it comes to greetings and building relationships. Okay, that's what we call culturally sensitive experiences. So these are some of the trends nowadays when it comes to multicultural settings. Now, we also identified the top four trends, okay, in multicultural settings or in a multicultural industry. So ano ba yung mga trending ngayon na dapat nating malaman in order for us to uh, progress when it comes to our operations in our businesses or in the organization where we are going to become part in the future. Okay, so there are four. The first one is emerging markets. Second is technology integration. Third is customer expectation. And fourth, global collaboration. So isa-isahin natin itong mga trends in multicultural settings. So the first one, we have emerging markets. So, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng emerging markets? Pag sinabi nating emerging markets, may mga bagong target customer or target clients na umuusbong sa ating uh, industry or sa iba't ibang sector when it comes to the organization. So, emerging markets are reshaping the global tourism map. Okay? So, hindi na lang natin pinag-uusapan yung mga Western travelers. Okay? Because before, ang lagi lang nating alam na nagta-travel ay mga Western travelers like European, American, Canadian, Australian. But nowadays, there are a lot of tourists as well in Asia, in Africa, in Latin America. And this continents are driving new wave of growth when it comes to markets or when it comes to customer. Okay? So, tumataas yung growth or yung percentage ng mga guests and customers na kailangan nating bigyan ng services or ng product. So, under the emerging markets, meron tayong tatlo na umuusbong or nag-e-emerge. The first one, we have rapid rise of middle class travelers. Okay? So, kung before, yung mga nagta-travel lang ay mga Western countries, ngayon, across Asia, Africa, and Latin America, there are millions of travelers joining the surge of outbound and domestic travel. They are part of the middle income bracket. So, marami nang mas nagta-travel ngayon sa Asia Pacific region. So, meron na silang disposable income. And yung mga visa applications natin or mga visa procedures natin ay nagiging flexible na. Kung dati sobrang higpit kapag nag apply tayo ng visa application para makapag-travel tayo from one place to another, ngayon nagiging flexible na sila. And these emerging travelers are increasingly exploring different regional and international destinations. Dahil nga nakapag-travel na sila, dati hindi naman sikat yung mga Vietnam tours, Thailand tours, or Cambodia tours, Singapore, so on and so forth. But nowadays, there are a lot of people who are going or that are going to that destinations or places kasi nga tumataas na yung disposable income nila or yung capacity nila to spend their money. So, tumataas yung mga middle class travelers. Next is yung strong growth in Asian or intra-Asian tourism. Pag sinabi nating intra-Asian tourism, yung Asia Pacific region kasi is one of the fastest growing travel market nowadays globally. So katulad ng bansa natin, Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, and Vietnam. So merong according to statistics, merong boom ng intra-regional tourism. Pag sinabi nating intra-regional tourism, nasa parehas kayong region or continent and then yung mga bansa doon sa kontinente na nandun ay nagta-travel kayo. Lumilipat kayo from one country to another country in the same continent. So for example, you are living in the Philippines and then you are traveling in Vietnam or in Thailand, in Malaysia, in Cambodia. So, those are part of intra-Asian tourism. Kasi you are part of one continent, but you are traveling from one country to another country from that continent. 'Di ba? So, those things are part of the growing intra-Asian tourism. Kaya nga, 'di ba, when you browse your social media account or website, there are a lot of package tours offering travels packages in this region or in this continent. And next is expansion of niche sector. Pag sinabi nating niche sector, ito yung mga merong specific or tailor fit na needs and preferences. Okay? Ibig sabihin, ito yung merong iba't ibang travel motivation. Meron silang iba't ibang reason to travel. For example, tumataas na ngayon yung mga travelers when it comes to medical tourism. People are traveling to Thailand for medical tourism. Yung iba naman, faith-based tourism. They are traveling because they want to visit different churches around the world for pilgrimages. Okay? So those are part of expansion of niche sectors. Okay? Yung mga specialized market na to or customer na to ay nagiging open for opportunities for customized packages and culturally sensitive hospitality experience. So these are some of the example of the trending markets when it comes to multicultural setting trends. Next, we have number two, the technology integration. So ano-ano ba yung mga nauuso ngayon na trending when it comes to technology integration sa mga multicultural setting? So we have four. The first one is artificial intelligence for personalization. Second is communication tools. Third, we have virtual reality and augmented reality. And fifth, we have automation. So, isa-isahin natin siya. The first one, we have AI for personalization. So, meron tayong tatlo na trending or trends when it comes to AI personalization. Class, you have to always understand na yung artificial intelligence tools nowadays ay central or part na siya ng hotels, airlines, and travel platforms to create tailored or personalized experience. So there are a lot of booming AI experiences na ginagamit ng industry natin in order for them to personalize and give exceptional products and services to our guests. So ano-ano ba yung mga yon? The first one, meron ng nauuso ngayon, di ba? Chatbots. I believe most of you are already familiar with chatbots. Okay? So, yung chatbots, these are AI assistants na nagpo-provide ng 24/7 help. Okay? Sa mga clients or sa mga guests. Because chatbots remembers guest preferences such as their favorite rooms, dining choices, or pillow types. So, nakakatulong para mas ma-hyper personalize yung hospitality. Okay? So, 'di ba, there are a lot of chatbots when you click the messenger account of a certain hotel or a certain airlines. May mag-pop up na agad doon na, "Hi, I am uh, Wonder. How may I help you?" Tapos may lalabas na doon ng mga predictive analytics. Tapos i-click nyo na lang, "How much is the room fee?" So lalabas na doon. "Give me the menu offering." So lalabas na rin doon. So chatbots really help the different organization to make their operation efficient and effective. Next is predictive analytic system. So ano naman yung mga predictive analytic system? Yung mga predictive analytic systems, these are artificial intelligence platforms na ginagamit natin in order for us to remember or um, what do you call this? Check the preferences of our guests or their algorithms. So for example, sa predictive analytic systems, yung they call this, pag nag-chat GPT kayo and then you just certain type doon, give me top 10 hotels in the Philippines. So ilalabas niya na. Okay? Tapos ilagay mo lang doon yung mga gusto mo or mga preference mo, by the beach, near the mountains. So napipredict niya na kung ano yung mga gusto mong preferences or yung mga gusto mong what do you call this? Things or wants or needs. So, nagbibigay na siya ng recommendations based on that preferences na nakakatulong for the industry or for the organization to personalize their products and services na ino-offer nila dun sa guests. And last but not the least is dynamic pricing engine. So napakadami na nating ginagamit ngayon na algorithms, okay? Or dynamic pricing algorithms na nakakatulong sa mga businesses para i-adjust yung rates nila in real-time basis na according sa demand, sa seasonality, sa travel behavior, para mas ma-maximize nila yung kanilang revenue or yung end the guest satisfaction. So one of the best example of dynamic pricing engines is pag pumunta kayo sa application ng booking.com or ng Agoda or ng Expedia and then you search a hotel. 'Di ba? Real time bumabagsak or tumataas yung presyo niya based sa demands or sa season kung kailan niyo siya binubook. So those engines help the company and the guests as well to meet their expectation. Okay? So, I want you to watch this video, a sample of AI for personalization in a hotel or in a soon-to-be open hotel located in Las Vegas.
It's a building with a brain. I'm Anissa Bohannon in Southwest Las Vegas, where Autonomous, the world's first AI-powered hotel, is set to open in just a few months.
The concept behind it is to offer something that doesn't exist in the market today.
It's not something that we've seen in Las Vegas. All 550 rooms of the Autonomous Hotel are powered by AI and personalized for every person who stays there before you even walk in the door.
After you finish booking, we start the onboarding process for you and ask you some questions to know more about you, and AI will do all of that and create what we call an avatar. What you like for coffee, what type of food, are you indoor, outdoor, are you tea or coffee?
And once you are inside, everything from your digital check-in to your very own e-butler is customized to make you feel right at home.
We track your stay from lighting, temperature, whatever. So next time you stay with us, the temperature is exactly the same. Lighting is exactly the same.
And it's not just AI that makes Autonomous unique. At 856 square feet, the hotel has the largest standard room in the city and the most interconnected rooms in the market. Despite the hotel's unique capabilities, CEO Felipe says AI doesn't have to mean impersonal.
The task of AI is to augment our capabilities as humans. It's not to take away humans, and people get confused with that. We actually have all the positions like a traditional hotel. Look at the design. It looks homey, it looks comfortable. We want you to feel like home away from home. It goes to the extent that if you don't like technology, you can shut it off. You can opt out of it, and you can stay with us with the traditional way where you have the human touch all the time. We give you your perfect, personalized guest experience for you, your actual experience. It's not a one-size-fits-all, it's yours.
You can book your stay starting this summer on February 3rd. You can also find open staffing positions for the hotel on their website, autonomoushotel.com. For now, I'm in Southwest Las Vegas, Anissa Bohannon.
So as you can see on the video, so there are a lot of artificial intelligence systems na naka-incorporate doon sa operation ng hotel that makes the guest comfortable, convenient, and give high exceptionalized, personalized service, okay, for each and every guest. Okay? So next.
It's a
Next is communication tools. So communication tools nowadays is uh, really important when it comes to the operation of a certain business, because you always remember that each nationality or each culture have different ways of means of communication, and communication tools really help these people to build connections and engage with one another that do not leads them to confusion. So in short, mas pinapadali ng mga communication tools na to na magkaroon tayo ng maayos at malinaw na communication to one another despite that we have differences in our culture. Okay, or diversity. So ano ba yung mga nauusong trends ngayon when it comes to communication tools? So the first one, we have multilingual assistants. So multilingual assistants, ito yung mga devices na you can talk freely and enthusiasm to different people even though you do not know the language. So magsasalita ka lang doon sa device, and then for example, ang kausap mo ay Japanese. So, may i-click ka lang na prompt na Nihongo yung magiging language prediction or language voice, and then automatic, the device will already translate it to Nihongo. Same with other languages. So, as you can see, there are really easy things that you can do when it comes to multilingual assistance. Sa multilingual assistance, pwede rin namang itatype mo lang siya, and then magbibigay siya sa'yo ng words kung paano mo siya babasahin or kung ano yung translation nun. Okay? Another example ng communication tool is Google Translate. So it can also be used as translator. Okay? So you can use it when you are traveling or when you are talking with your guests or clients. So I want you to watch this video, an example of a device communication tools that are trending nowadays in a multicultural setting.
These glasses let you understand any language in real time.
Hey, sweetie, it's working.
When someone speaks, subtitles appear instantly on the lens. They're called HearView glasses. With built-in microphones and AI, they detect speech and translate it on the spot, like magic. Originally made for deaf individuals, they now help travelers, students, and professionals communicate clearly across the world.
Okay, and this is the other one.
Hello, can I sit in this restaurant with my shoes on?
こんにちは。このレストランでは靴を履いたまま座ってもいいですか？
いえ、ここでは靴を脱がなければなりません。
No, you must take off your shoes here.
Okay, so these are some of the communication tools that are available right now in the market that travelers and even customers, consumers, and guests helps to ease the communication even though you are not really quite familiar with the language, but you have to be careful as well because sometimes nagkakaroon din naman ng challenges or problems when it comes to the translation kasi nga minsan um, mali din yung pagkaka-type natin or pagkaka-deliver natin ng message. So, nagkakaroon ng problem as well when it comes to translation. That's why you have to double check or make sure that everything is aligned so that you can avoid those problems in the future. But uh, on a positive note, so this equipment will really help not only the travelers but any individual that are communicating with different nationalities or with different diversities. Okay, so next we have virtual reality and augmented reality. So this VR and AR really redefining marketing and guest engagement through immersive storytelling. So pag sinabi kasi nating virtual reality and augmented reality, you are experiencing a certain products or services, okay, visually. Okay, or nararamdaman din natin siya or na feeling natin nandun tayo pero kahit wala naman. But it is an exceptional service that we can give to guests nowadays kasi um, it can give us a basis if we will avail the product or not or we will avail the experience or not. Ito mostly ginagamit na to ng different restaurants, ng different hotels, or ng mga what do you call this, activities and experiences na nag-o-offer ng mga ganitong idea. Okay? That really helps us assess if we will purchase or not the product because we are going to see it on a via virtually or in augmented reality. So I want you to watch this video. This video is all about a certain tourist who wants to travel in in Italy, but she wants to check first ano yung experience na pwede niyang ma-avail doon or makita niya kapag nandun na siya sa destination. So itong VR and augmented reality helps travelers or people or guests, okay, to identify if these experiences will suit their preferences. So, see how our technology nowadays are really amazing. So, imagine yung nandun sa video is parang nasa labas siya or nakapunta talaga siya doon sa Roman Empire era. Pero nasa loob lang siya ng studio. That's how virtual reality and augmented reality works nowadays. Next is automation in hospitality operation. So automation in hospitality operation is all about robotics and automation. So yung mga robots or mga machines na ginagamit natin nowadays ay nakakatulong para mas mapadali or mapabilis yung operations natin. Okay? That they can also do human touch or human movement to assist us in our operations. Okay? So there are a lot of hotels, restaurants nowadays na gumagamit ng robots and automations when it comes to their operations. I want you to see this video.
Don't skip this. Future You Will Thank You. In China, hotels are using smart delivery robots to bring delivery food, towels, and even toiletries right to your door. Before we continue, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. These robots use facial recognition, voice control, and advanced navigation to glide through elevators and hallways, all on their own. No tipping, no delays. Delivery at your door in minutes. China's hotel robots aren't just cool, they're a glimpse into how AI is changing hospitality forever. Would you want one at your hotel? Would you trust a robot to deliver your room service? What do you think about this video? Leave a comment.
And this is the other video.
I got served by robot waiters in this Tokyo cafe. Futuristic and cool, yes, but what makes this place so worth a visit is that the robots are controlled remotely by people with disabilities who can't physically come into work but want to stay connected to society. Shaping a more inclusive future, this is Dawn Avatar Robot Cafe.
Okay, so these are some of the automation and robotics being done or being used in various hospitality and tourism sectors nowadays. Next, let's proceed to third, evolving customer expectation. So you have to understand, class, that modern travelers are no longer satisfied with surface level experiences. When we say surface level experiences, yung mga simple lang, like for example, nakasanayan nating mag-hiking sa bundok or fishing, biking, ano pa ba? Swing. So those are surface level experiences. Nowadays, travelers seek meaningful and genuine connections with people and places. Okay? They are evolving. Their expectations becomes higher as times goes by. So what are those? First one is they value authenticity, sustainability, and cultural respect. When we say authenticity, yung mga guests nowadays, they prefer locally inspired design, cuisine, and storytelling rather than generic luxury. Hindi na nila masyadong focus yung um, mga nakasanayan nilang mga mahal, okay? Or mga nakasanayan nilang, for example, bumili sila ng ice cream and the price is 500 pesos. Before, those are a generic luxury. But nowadays, they value um, authenticity or genuine products and services being offered to them. Example nito is yung, if you can search online, yung The Farm at San Benito sa Batangas. So yung farm na yon or yung The Farm at San Benito, they are integrating Filipino wellness traditions. Okay? They are offering local food, organic food, mga local um, craftsmanship, yung mga what they call this, yung mga naghahabi, yung mga nag-uukit. So, merong different activities na pwede kayong gawin doon sa The Farm at San Benito in Batangas. And yung mga food nila ay really organic. Ibig sabihin, walang chemicals, okay, na ginamit. That's why there are a lot of people or travelings are going there, especially those people na uh, they really focus when it comes to environmental impact, when it comes to what do you call this, inspired design and cuisine. Another one is yung when it comes to sustainability. Travelers or tourists are now aware of the various environmental impact, and they support businesses that promotes eco-friendly operations. For example, yung mga renewable energy, waste reduction, and community-based tourism. So yung mga travelers, pinupuntahan nila yung mga businesses na ang focus ay about sustainability. One of the best example of this is yung El Nido Resorts located in Palawan. So they are practicing zero waste initiatives and marine conservation program. So there are a lot of environmental enthusiasts na pumupunta doon sa El Nido Resorts in Palawan just to check their operation because they are really amazed on their sustainability operation. And cultural respect, visitors naman, they want to engage in a local tradition but not to exploit them. Okay? Gusto nilang maranasan ano ba yung buhay ng mga tao on their community. One of the best example of this is yung Cordillera Tours. Okay, sa Cordillera Tours, ini-involve nila yung mga tour guides nila. Ang mga tour guides nila ay mga locals and indigenous communities. So imagine these people helps the community to engage with different kinds of nationalities or diversities. And dito, mas nabibigyan nila ng um, saysay, yung tours. Kasi sila yung naninirahan dun sa community. So, mas aware sila or mas alam nila yung history and how does things works there na na-share nila to those people who are visiting their places. Okay? So imagine that shows authenticity and fair benefit sharing. Next is representation in branding and staffing. So travelers wants to see themselves reflected in the brands they support. Kaya nga 'di ba ang dami na natin ngayong inclusive marketing campaigns na feature ng mga diverse faces. Dati, 'di ba, laging mapuputi lang yung nakikita natin sa mga advertisement or sa mga promotion. But nowadays, we are showing different colors of skin, we are showing different faces, different family types, different cultures. Okay, that's what we call representation in branding and staffing, that we are all inclusive when we are promoting our products, our services, or the experience that we are offering to our guests. One of the best um, what you call this campaign is yung kay Airbnb. You can search it sa YouTube or sa TikTok. Yung campaign nila is Airbnbs Belong Anywhere. Meron din naman yung kay Cebu Pacifics, yung Cebu Pacifics One Love. So these campaigns, they really highlight diversity and inclusivity because they are what do you call this? They are open to each and everybody. Okay? Another one is yung staffing when it comes to hospitality. So, nagiging diverse na rin tayo and we ensure that our guests feel welcome regardless kung saang race sila, religion, gender, or kung ano yung ability nila when it comes to working. Okay? So, we hire people from different backgrounds. Okay? So, one of the best example of this is yung Accor Hotels and Shangri-La Group. Okay, when you go to their website, they have this, what do you call this, features about inclusive hiring policies and multicultural training for frontliners. So these initiatives really builds emotional connections and strengthens the brand loyalty because they really focus on multicultural diversity. And lastly, growth of inclusive, ethical, and accessible travel experience. So you always remember that our industry nowadays is shifting toward the word travel for all, meaning we are addressing physical, social, and ethical accessibility. Okay? The first one is when it comes to inclusive travels. Yung mga hotels natin nowadays, yung mga attractions natin ngayon, nag invest na sila sa iba't ibang facilities to accommodate different people with different needs. For example, meron na silang ramps, 'di ba, para sa mga guests with disabilities. Like meron din silang tactile maps sa mga museums where these tactile maps can be used by blind people or blind guests to read or check ano ba yung nandun sa photo or nandun sa history. They are also offering sensory friendly programs for guests with disabilities. So, best example nito is yung SM Hotels and Resorts World Manila. So, meron silang accessibility certified facilities for PWD travelers. So, those equipments and facilities are present in this company. Next is ethical travel. Tourists wants assurance that workers are treated fairly and that tourism benefits local community. So, ibig sabihin, we have to make sure that everybody should be treated equally. And the tourism benefits will be given and distributed for all. Hindi pwedeng negosyo lang yung nakikinabang, hindi pwedeng community lang yung nakikinabang, hindi pwedeng traveler lang yung nakikinabang. It should be for everybody. Okay? So, one of the best example of this is you can search it online, the G Adventures Ripple Score. Dito pinapakita yung mga kung magkano ang ginagastos ng mga travelers sa isang lugar. Okay? Ibig sabihin, nakikita natin, these are the shares of the travelers when they are traveling to a certain place. For example, there are a group of foreigners who travel to Siargao. You go to G Adventures Ripple Score. Makikita nyo doon how much yung average spending nila on that place. And last but not the least, gender and culture sensitive experiences. So you always remember, one of the trending right now is many resorts now provide women only tours and halal certified services for Muslim travelers rather. So, ano yung magiging effect or impact nito? So, hindi lang accessible tourism is hindi na lang siya niche. Okay? Hindi na lang siya special or customized. But it's becoming the global standards na sinusunod ng iba't ibang organization or establishment. And last trends in the multicultural setting is yung global collaboration. So ano-ano ba yung mga trending ngayon when it comes to global collaboration? The first one is cross-border partnerships. Okay? So yung tourism industry or hospitality industry thrives on collaborations across nations and sectors. So ngayon, global partnerships links with different hotels, airlines, tourism boards to promote seamless and multi-destination traveler. For example, yung Philippine Airline nakipag-partner na sa All Nippon Airways para mas ma-expand yung mga flight destinations nila and connectivity nila across Asia. So, yun ay part ng cross-border partnership. Another example is yung Marriott International. Nakikipag-collaborate na sila with local tourism boards of Thailand and in the Philippines, okay, to co-market cultural and ecotourism destinations. So those are cross-border partnership. We partner with different organization from different countries or continents to widen and to deepen our multicultural operations. Next is exchange program for global workforce and mobility. So people or organization is become mobile nowadays. Okay? We are offering trainings and exchange programs from one place to another, from one company to another. Example nito yung Accor Hotels. Meron silang tinatawag na Hearties Exchange Program. So ito yung Hearties Exchange Program, it enables their employee to work temporarily in another country para magkaroon ng bagong knowledge when it comes to skills, management styles, leadership styles, supervisory, or equipment or machineries, so on and so forth. Another example, meron ding work abroad program yung TESDA tsaka DOLE Philippines na pinapayagan yung mga Philippine hospitality workers to gain overseas experience sa mga hotels, sa mga cruise lines. Kaya nga 'di ba meron tayong tinatawag na student internship exchange program. Diba? In various schools nowadays, ino-offer to in order for the students to be aware and exposed with different operations of different nationalities from different companies. Next is shared standards for inclusive and sustainable tourism. So, global tourism organizations are working together to set common ethical, environmental, and inclusivity benchmark. Yung mga different organization katulad ng UN, ng World Travel and Tourism Council, yung mga ASEAN, yan. Gumagawa sila ng iba't ibang policies and procedures para mas maging standardized yung operations natin. And para mas maging ethical, inclusive, and environmentally responsible yung operations. Okay, 'di ba kaya nga nagkakaroon tayo ng iba't ibang accreditations, nagkakaroon tayo ng iba't ibang certifications para mas mapataas pa natin yung kalidad ng mga products, services, and experiences na ino-offer natin to our guests. Okay, so these are the 4 top trending multicultural settings nowadays. And that's the end of our discussion. If you have questions, you can comment your inquiries in the comment section. Thank you very much and see you on our next discussion.